And we're on the air. Great. Hello, pals and gals, and welcome to another episode of XOXO Riverdale. I think that this is episode 47.
Yeah.
So the never-ending slew that is this show continues for you and me, Kate.
Yeah. It just keeps going.
Kate, I don't want to get into the episode quite yet, obviously, but are you beginning to feel like perhaps you and I, from watching all these episodes, are slowly going insane?
From time to time.
Yeah, like the last two episodes in particular made me think that maybe I was going crazy.
Yeah, like I'm glad that other TV shows are back on the air.
Like you're glad that Riverdale isn't your only source of entertainment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Personally, I recently subscribed to a streaming service called Night Flight Plus.
Uh-huh.
That's literally all just this video magazine show from the 80s that's all music and movies and like clips from old 50s TV shows.
Uh-huh.
And then it's also got like a whole bunch of music documentaries and like B movies and like cult and exploitation films available.
Yeah.
And just the only reason why I bring it up is the last two episodes of Riverdale. I've watched Riverdale, which couldn't be more like current. And
Uh-huh.
then I'll like give it a little bit of like antidote by watching, like Tears for Fears videos
Yeah.
on like on Night Flight.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm glad that Riverdale isn't my only source of entertainment as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So apparently there's some big news.
There's some huge news.
So yeah, give it to me. Because maybe I haven't heard it yet. What's the huge news?
There's a Riverdale spinoff coming.
Oh my. My. Another one that isn't Sabrina?
Nope, it's Katie Keene.
Oh, Katie. Oh God. Katie Keene. Katie Keene is a perfectly okay character. Like, she's a fashion model. She's a redhead.
Great.
She I think lives in the town adjacent. Sometimes Archie and her go on dates.
Was she the farm girl in that episode recently?
No. That was another character altogether who was from Little Archie comics.
Okay.
Yeah, Katie Keene. We haven't seen Katie Keene yet.
Right.
Oh boy. All right. Well, to be honest, I'm not hugely enthused about Katie Keene getting a spinoff. I don't really care about Katie Keene.
Well, it's a spinoff, baby.
It's a spinoff, baby. Like, why isn't it a nice Moose spinoff?
I don't know.
I know. They could do a Moose reads you a bedtime story spinoff.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I'd love it. I'd watch
it. I'd watch it. Yeah, I'd watch it in repeat every day. Well, I'll do my comic book geek diligence when it comes to Katie Keene, and I'll report back. Because, I mean, I've read some Katie Keene comics, but, like, certainly she isn't one of the Archie characters that, like, really resonates with me as a reader. So,
that's fair.
Yeah, there you go. There's also, like, a Martian character named Cosmo the Merry Martian.
Great.
Make a spinoff with Cosmo. Martian, sleeping with his teacher.
They just brought back Roswell, so you can't like double down on aliens on CW.
I guess not, but we've got Sabrina on Netflix and we've got Charmed on CW, so
yeah,
and they seem to be doing totally great.
Yeah.
Oh my! Any other big news? Any fun social media stuff that I might have missed this week? I was looking at social media, the Star's social media this week, but I don't think I saw much of note.
There wasn't anything of note. There was Reggie and Archie in W letter jackets.
Oh yeah, for Wiverdale.
Yeah. The Wiverdale Bulldogs.
Yeah, Wiverdale Bulldogs. Wonderful. Yeah, that was cute. Do you think someone just gave them those jackets, or do you think that it has to do with the show?
I saw there was another. Sorry. There was a second, like, video of one of them wearing it, and the other one creeping behind them, like, in a studio chair, like, in waiting to film. Like, they're filming something in those jackets.
So, do you think that might be jackets for West Side High?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, W stands for West Side in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe there's going to be a new area of Riverdale
They're
that
infiltrating.
we haven't explored yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. And the colors are red.
Yep.
Excellent. Cool. Well, shall we get into this episode?
Episode
It sounds
45.
like we're ready. Episode 45, The Stranger.
Yeah, which is an Orson Welles film where
Mhm.
War Crimes Commissioner travels to Connecticut to find Nazis.
I think that this was based more on Camus' The Stranger, which is about a subject who feels alienated from his own life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because you can certainly apply, actually, you can basically apply Betty or Archie to those. In this episode, they sort of run parallel in terms of some thematics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So overall, I didn't love this episode.
No, it was fine.
Yeah, I think you're being a little overly charitable.
I think it's like they're trying. It's like a pilot. It was almost like a pilot episode where they're like setting up new characters.
Yeah, for sure. It certainly felt like a bit of a reset. And last episode felt like a reset.
Yeah.
And how much sort of extreme. I don't know. This is kind of interesting because we certainly complain in the past when we have episodes where not enough happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the last two episodes, the status quo has changed a little too much in ways that I think are a little less interesting than they were before.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And I mean, for a really big thing in this episode, and we'll get to it in detail, but it seems like the Gargoyle King subplot is coming to an end.
Yeah, which I was audible in the reveal.
Yeah, I was audible in the reveal as well. Were you happy with the reveal?
No.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with the reveal either. Yeah, so we'll get to it. So let's delve in.
So first of all, I wrote Vegas.
Yeah,
starts with Vegas.
I know it's great that we start with Vegas, and we get a narration that's like, at this fucking time on this goddamn day, Archie died.
At least the Archie Andrews we knew.
I know. Ugh. That is so hacky. I can't believe that's the way the episode started.
I know.
It is real. It also just doesn't feel like the way the Jughead would speak.
Yeah.
Or the way he would narrate. It doesn't really fit properly with the rest of his narration for the series.
Yeah.
So I didn't love that. And then he waltzes through the door.
And he tells Fred it's a long story, but you know what? Not that long.
It's A, not that long, and B, he ran away in the first place. If the passage of time holds true for the way the show works, he left about 3 days ago.
Right.
And now Archie's back. And it's just like, he left because his life was in danger. There was a hit on him. He didn't want to put his family in danger, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And now he's back and just ready to start anew. Like everything is just totally like the status quo has been restored, but it hasn't. And I know we haven't gotten to this yet, but I feel like it fits in with all of this. So I want to just talk about it now.
Uh-huh.
We had like 2 wonderful episodes where KJ Appa got to have his normal hair color.
Yeah.
And he looked good, and like it was like naturalistic and felt correct.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that there was a plot element in this where they were like, "Oh, your hair's back to normal," and it's
Yeah.
like this toxic orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just because it felt like the scene in the kitchen, I really made note of the fact I was like, it's really nice to see this actor in his hair in his proper hair color. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. And then it was time for sex.
Right. Well, so don't you need like a password to get in the speakeasy?
Maybe the password was, "Hey, Veronica, it's me." No, I guess he sort of sneaks down. He
Yeah.
surprises her.
Because he's just like there.
Yeah, he's
And
just
then
there.
Veronica's mad about his hair color, and I'm like, girl, you should be thrilled.
Yeah, yeah. I certainly love me a good redhead. It's certainly something about me that I know,
Yeah.
but don't love a good redhead dye job.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But then I was thrilled Veronica in the next scene. I
Yeah.
mean, there was the sex scene, not a
Right.
big surprise for the show. Yeah. And then we get this in the next scene, they're all at Pops hanging out,
Uh-huh.
which I loved because once again, we rarely get to see the foursome.
Right.
I do like how the dynamic has changed between Veronica and Jughead,
Yeah.
that now they're allies because I think it's just more interesting.
Yeah. And listen, Archie has a different order at Pops. Things have changed.
Yeah, instead of ordering his strawberry milkshake, he's ordered a root beer float, which might have more sugar content in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, Veronica makes a Revenant reference.
Yeah, one of our fans pointed it out too, that last week we talked about the Revenant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On Twitter? And did I miss that? Oh, sweet. I'm sorry I missed that. Yeah, I was just thrilled that that reference was made because, yeah, like, don't have someone be attacked by a bear on a show that makes pop culture references and then not make a reference to the Revenant. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then at least the next thing I have that I thought was of note is that Betty's accounts have been drained.
So before that, I noticed that Archie doesn't know when the SATs are, like as though the SATs aren't at like the same time every year.
Oh yeah. Oh
also,
yeah.
They're 3 times a year. Like if you miss the SATs, you could just like take it a couple months later.
That I didn't even know. You know what? I didn't even know that because I'm from Canada.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I'm the SAT expert in this because I took the SAT multiple times.
Sure. Yeah, as a lot of kids do. Yeah.
And yeah, Archie should know more about the SATs if he's in high school.
But he's been gone. Maybe that bear claw swipe erased his memory of the SATs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that Betty's card was declined.
And Betty's card was declined because her accounts have been drained. Uh-oh.
Yep, all the money is going to the farm.
All the money's going to the farm, and we get a episode with just like wackadoo Alice.
Yeah, with her crystals.
With her crystals, and she's gaslighting Betty.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is just so, like, it's just too on the nose for me.
Yeah, Betty's like, I was going to go to college, and she's like, you can learn on the farm, and it's like, that's bonkers, and like, you know it.
Yeah, like, the show, I feel, last few episodes have really devolved into, it's funny because of other friends might have been like, yeah, it's just like a soap now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's always just been a soap. But now it's like a soap.
Yeah.
It's like Passions now. Remember that show with the doll?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what this show's turning into. Yeah, so Alice is going nuts. And then we had a scene with FP
And Fred.
and Fred,
And
where FP says, "Don't worry, we're not going to let anything happen to your boy."
yeah.
But then at the end, FP gives a really strange smile.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand what the motivation for the smile was.
Yeah.
And maybe it's yet to be revealed, but it's something that we should like hold on to. And it's not that I think that FP has ulterior motives, but I definitely think there's some information we're not getting.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Weatherby wants to hold Archie back, which makes
You just missed a whole scene
yeah, because it wasn't important to me. You go for it. Go for it.
where Fred and FP go to see Hiram and threaten Hiram.
That's right.
And I wrote, "Ooh, baby Luke." He got real zaddy in there, and he threatened Hiram's life.
I know it was very. We just want Luke Perry to protect us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. And Hiram certainly was freaked out about that.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, because Hiram was becoming a boring villain.
Yep. He's been a boring villain for a while.
So then, yeah, certainly I agree with that. So then we have this whole thing where Weatherby wants to hold Archie back.
How long was Archie gone?
5 days. So I totally understand. I'm joking. I mean, it's the passage of time is really strange.
Yeah.
I mean, after all is said and done, I guess maybe a month he was gone.
Yeah, that's still not necessarily enough to hold someone back.
No, it's well, I guess maybe okay, let's beat this out. Maybe he was a month living in the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And he was maybe a month in juvie or 2 months in juvie.
Yeah. So I guess like his grades were probably like if he had had A's and missed a month,
Yeah.
it could have been like reachable, but if his grades are already kind of tanked.
Also, something we know about the character is that he used to be a straight A student, but now he's lapsing behind in his studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fucking Archie.
God damn it.
Anyway. So that was, the end of that was the end of the first act. And that was supposed to be the big like cliffhangery, thing before the title card is that they're holding Archie back.
Yeah.
Not that dramatic.
No.
But other dramatic things did happen in this episode.
Right.
So then we've got Reggie.
Yeah, Veronica's like Archie's back now, and I'm like so mad because I liked Reggie and Veronica better.
Mm-hmm. And I certainly did too. And I think it's time for Archie to take a rest from dating.
Yeah.
While he works on himself.
Yeah.
As I've said to many friends in the past.
Yeah.
That being said, they are doing kind of an interesting thing with Reggie where he is, of course, like somewhat disappointed.
Yeah.
But he handles it well.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get hostile or possessive of Veronica. And there is an element to that I think is really progressive. And I just wanted to shout it out because I thought I did enjoy that aspect, especially with it being Reggie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was quite cool. And then Betty goes to visit Hal.
Well, she knows that she has to see Hal, but
yeah,
now we get a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
The town needs a new sheriff, and it's going to be Claudius, apparently.
Claudius Blossom, our favorite plot device.
Yep.
Our favorite non-character on the show. And yeah, go for it.
I was going to talk about the next scene.
Go for it. Yep.
So Archie and Jughead are using flashcards to prepare for the SATs.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know you have not prepared for the SATs yourself. These flashcards are worthless.
It's just not how it works.
Yeah.
It's like cartoon prep for the SATs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took the PSATs, but I never took the SATs.
The word is iconoclast.
Yes, that's right. And Archie is an iconoclast.
Yeah. And then I wrote, you can retake the SATs. And then I wrote, Archie's dumb.
Yup.
He got in the bottom 10% of like scores. He got a 600 on the SATs.
Yeah.
I took the SATs once when I was like 9 or 10 for like a gifted program and got like a 1200.
Yeah. Yeah. The 600. That's like a real extreme move from the writers.
That's like spelled your name wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Archie's the dumbest Dog Day Afternoon fan I know.
He's so fucking dumb.
Like, did you notice that he has a Dog Day Afternoon poster?
Yeah.
That's a weird one, Archie.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Then, you know, actually, I just want to comment on that. Compared to Sabrina's room, which I think is decorated perfectly for that character, Archie is just like, it's like the art direction shows what a non-entity he is on his own show.
I feel like
his room.
It seems like Jughead decorated Archie's room.
Jughead was like, you need a Dog Day Afternoon poster, Archie.
Like, Jughead didn't have a room of his own to decorate, so he decorated Archie's.
Yeah, that's fair. Archie used to have posters up of like DC superheroes, I remember. Yeah. That was the thing, which felt actually a little closer in line, but like, give Archie, I don't know, maybe he's into like boxers or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, like give him a cool Muhammad Ali poster.
Or like a sexy lady with a car.
No, I don't want him to be that guy, but he totally is that guy.
No!
Okay, so
Purple King is impressed by Fangs.
Sure.
Like, in my head says Fangs is dying.
Totally. I got frightened for Fangs as well.
There were multiple times in this episode where I was convinced Fangs was gonna die.
Yeah, Fangs was gonna get it.
And then Archie's red again. I wrote, oh no.
Yeah, Archie's red again. And then, yeah, and then they have a welcome back party for Archie.
The oh no was not about his hair, I realized. The oh no was about the singing.
That's fair. I think it's oh no for both.
She's singing in Spanish.
Hey, at least we're getting to her heritage in a way that's somewhat like organic, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Like, I didn't mind that so much, but I do want to say, you know who you don't invite to Archie's welcome back party? Reggie.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Yeah.
And it's not nice that Veronica invited him.
And there were so many people there who, like, we have never seen before, and, like, not Cheryl.
Well, I mean, they just apparently didn't want to pay Madeline Petch to make an appearance in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Cheryl. No Tony.
Nope. Neither.
They're like off, you know, robbing some rich lady in Springwood, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So when Veronica's singing, Archie, he looked so unentertained. And it turned out he was having flashbacks, but at first he just looked like bored out of his mind, which I loved. I wrote, it is perfect.
Yeah, that's totally understandable that you'd be bored out of your mind.
And then my next comment is, wow, no moose.
Yeah, no moose. Kevin's like lurking.
Yeah,
no moose. No. You know, and I guess they thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Noticed.
So now we get into the fact that Archie is having some PTSD from his experience.
Which he's been having the length of the series.
Well, he's been having kind of on and off due to different things.
Yeah.
So now is the time for the show to behave responsibly.
Yeah.
And to show Archie getting a therapist.
Yeah.
Get Archie a therapist.
He needs one. And I feel like Fred knows he needs one.
Yeah. And it's like, this is the thing about Riverdale, that Riverdale's only sort of socially conscious when like it makes a decision that it benefits the plot. But it would be great if it was just sort of a woke show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's about 2 steps away from feeling a lot more woke. And one of the things that make it feel more woke in this regard is to get Archie a therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's so dumb. Yeah. So yeah, that was the end of that act.
Yeah.
And then we get Betty visiting Hal Cooper.
This prison is insane.
Yes, this is like Arkham Asylum.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's real dumb. But it sure is fun to see Hal
Yeah.
in full out like creepy psycho mode.
Yeah.
Which is a much more fun, character for that actor to do. Like, it's really fun.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name again?
Lachlan
That's Lachlan Monroe. Yeah, Freddy versus Jason's Lachlan Monroe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and then he's like, "I will help you catch the Gargoyle King.
You got to bring me a manual."
Yeah, yeah. And to me, that this all feels a little Silence of the Lambsy.
Yeah, every scene in that prison feels Silence of the Lambsy.
And that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's another cool cultural thing to draw from.
Yeah.
And then we have shirtless boys fight.
I wrote Reggie is too good for Veronica. Like, I'm totally Team Reggie right now, at this point.
Yeah, no. They write Reggie really subtly in this episode, where he clearly still has an ego, but he's keeping his ego in check because he knows that his ego can hurt other people. And this is like good three-dimensional writing on a character that, like traditionally in the comics is like in no way three-dimensional.
Yeah.
So I'm into this. I'm into what they're doing with Reggie right now, more kind of than what they're doing with Archie or what they're doing with some of the other characters, definitely.
So they're shirtless, and I noticed how fast those wounds healed on Archie.
Yeah, Archie has very, like, carefully placed, like, claw marks on him.
Yeah, that have been there for years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, good makeup job, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then also, too, like, there was no reason in that scene for Reggie to pull his shirt off.
No, it's
just that we haven't seen that actor with his shirt off in a while.
Yeah.
Not that I'm complaining. Woo! That's why I love watching Riverdale. Anyway, yeah. So
Ham's gonna buy the Sisters of Quiet Mercy.
Yeah, and it sounds like he wants to make it into Lodge Manor.
Right.
Like something that more resembles Lodge Manor from the comics.
Yeah, and he's gonna have it cleansed. I know you're really excited about this. You posted about this on Facebook.
Yeah, so this was my favorite line from the episode. When Hermione says, like, hey, this place probably has some bad vibes.
Yeah.
And then, like, out of the blue, like, he has one on call. Hiram's like, don't worry. I'll have it cleansed by Senora. Completely matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
Which really opens up a whole can of worms here.
Yeah.
Because basically what it's saying is that Hiram, like, believes in a whole bunch of weird-ass spiritual, sort of traditional Latinx stuff.
Yeah.
That we've never heard from him before.
Right.
This character who's, very strategic and crime-oriented, like, is just like, oh yeah, I'll have it cleansed by a Senora. Like, that's something that, like, people just fucking do.
Yeah, like, we all have a Senora who cleanses things. We all have a cobbler.
Yeah, exactly. We all have a bloodletter.
Yes.
Like, it's like...
we just have them.
That was so strange to me.
Yeah.
And was my favorite moment of the episode. Like, it was just a real what the fuck moment.
Yeah. And then he tells Hermione to make Claudius sheriff, and Hermione's like, no.
Yeah. And he's like, no, this is clearly the best idea.
Yeah.
So then, we get this, like, plot move from Hal.
Okay. So he signs the papers for Betty.
Mm-hmm.
There should have been a notary there.
Betty's a notary, isn't she?
You can't notarize your own forms.
Oh, come on. Betty's a Riverdale notary. I'm joking. This is,
was
you're right.
No third witness, like there was nothing.
It's totally dumb.
Yeah.
And then Hal claims he killed Featherhead, Principal Featherhead.
Yeah, he says he was at Ascension Night. He sent out the invites. He was the Gargoyle King. He sent out the challenges because they were all sinners.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, okay. What a
Yeah.
just like
It's like, well, that's a plot move.
yeah.
But guess what? It ended up not being true, ladies.
Yeah. It actually just jumping ahead a little here, we still do not know who the Gargoyle King was on Ascension Night.
No, 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 we certainly don't. And that is a good thing to note when in discussion of this scene, that this is a bit of a red herring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's clearly going to factor in.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my bets on Edgar Evernever, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, I feel like there's a real break in some sort of confidentiality.
Yeah.
That the guard from the prison is just like, your mom's been coming.
Yeah.
P.S.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if they're visiting separately, you're not really allowed to tell, who the visitor manifest is, but whatever.
Good.
Right? Anyway. So
someone's getting rid of something here because I wrote, does this spark joy? But I don't remember what they were getting rid of.
oh man, that's really funny. I wonder what it was. Did it have something to do with Betty and her mom?
I don't know, and I know I wrote this twice.
Does this spark joy? Were those just personal notes for you?
No, because then the next thing I wrote was Fangs will die.
Yeah, because then we get to the sequence with the Gargoyle King.
Yeah.
Where they're bringing Archie to him.
Yeah.
But it is a...
no, this is not when they bring Archie to him yet.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is when...
So Fangs approaches.
Mm-hmm.
And then
this is the circle.
And they say, scatter! Which is very funny.
That's right. It's a little 1950s gang fight.
They all scatter.
And then they unmask the Gargoyle King.
And I said very loudly, tall boy, ugh. Like, ugh, come on.
Yeah, ain't nobody care about tall boy.
He was supposed to be dead, and it turns out he's alive, and I really don't care.
No, nobody cares. Like, what if it had been Cliff Blossom?
That would have been more interesting.
That would have been so much more interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it's just like, tall boy, really?
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, so, we've got this character unmasked. I definitely think there's multiple Gargoyle Kings, for sure. Yeah.
And it turns out tall boy, when they thought he was dead, he was hanging out in Athens.
Mm-hmm. That drug dilapidated town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we've got
our Reggie's on Bumble.
Bumble.
Do high schoolers use Bumble?
Apparently, high schoolers are allowed to use Bumble.
And then I wrote, and I do not know why.
Promotional consideration brought to you by Bumble. Find your match. Find your match on Bumble, the app you use to speak to ladies when you're a respectful man. Bumble.
I do not know why I wrote this, but I wrote in all caps, eye roll.
Maybe it was had to do with Penelope and Hal.
Maybe.
Because that's gross.
Yeah.
She's so gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs her conjugal visits with Hal.
Oh, I also wrote, is Hal short for something? Is Hal a nickname?
No, I think Hal is the full name.
Just like in real life, like not just in the show.
Yeah, I think Hal is a full name.
Feels like it should be short for something.
Like Hal Regard?
Or like Harold?
Yeah. I think that it could be short for Harold, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they describe Alice Cooper. Turns out it's Penelope. Penelope's been going for conjugal visits. I write in 4 separate lines, what is this prison?
Yeah, seriously. Where they just don't check.
Yeah.
Also, conjugal visits, I don't think that's a thing that happens anymore.
No.
Yeah, that was real fucking weird.
Yeah, and it turns out that like how Penelope told him about griffins or gargoyles, and he just wants the attention because he wants
Yeah.
to keep Betty on the line. He wants to keep Betty coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. This is all real dumb.
My next question is, did Hal have a trial? Is he in prison or is he in jail?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, yeah. I wonder if he's awaiting trial.
Yeah.
And if so, it's been a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is once again dumb.
Yeah. So they're using Archie as bait, and they send Claudius instead of Hiram, and it's FP instead of Tallboy. And then my favorite part of the episode happens, which is a citizen's arrest.
Citizen's arrest! I know that there's some problematic issues with Aziz Ansari currently.
Uh-huh.
But this reminded me so much of the Master of None episode where Aziz makes a citizen's arrest on the train of a guy who's masturbating.
It's so funny.
Because declaring you're making a citizen's arrest is so fun.
It's so funny.
It's just great. It's just great. Yeah, there's something about it being like, I'm making a citizen's arrest. It's like there's just an inherent humor to it.
Yeah.
And the citizen's arrest is against Claudius Blossom.
Yeah, and then the next scene is just like Archie and Veronica, like, let's fuck.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's time for them to have some sex.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
End of the act.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got some SAT things I gotta tell you about.
Yeah, share with me how inaccurate this is, because I'm sure it is.
You do not get to pick your seating at the SATs.
Oh, interesting. They
put you in alphabetical order because it's not necessarily just people from your school.
Yeah.
It's people from the surrounding areas because, like, you could take it 3 times a year, but your high school isn't going to host it 3 times a year. So some of these people probably don't even go to Riverdale. They're not sitting in alphabetical order at all.
So this would have been a really, really great moment to like place some of the supporting Sabrina characters in the seats.
Yeah, it would have been fun.
That would have been really cool. But yeah. No, didn't happen.
Yeah. I wrote Veronica don't follow, and then I just would take it again in August.
Yep.
It's like August, February, and June.
Yep. What time is this?
I'm guessing this is June because this is when everyone is taking it.
This is over the summer?
It might be May instead of June.
Okay. So they're ending their sophomore year?
They're ending their junior year because that's what Archie would have to repeat.
Got it.
And you usually take SATs as a junior.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all of that.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, once again, the show's played real fast and loose with time.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have...
Hiram gets shot.
Yeah, Hiram gets shot after he says, I'm always one step ahead, which is fun.
Yeah.
I liked seeing the coffee cup explode in his hand.
Yeah.
I thought that was all really fun and dynamic.
Yeah.
And then we don't see the shooter.
Right.
So now we're getting into a who shot Mr. Lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Archie is suspect number 1.
Well, before that, we have Alice and Evelyn drinking raw milk and eating oatmeal raisin cookies.
Which was my mother's favorite part of the episode. Where when we were talking about it last night, she texted me, raw milk, WTF.
It's so awful.
It's so weird and stupid.
Yeah, and then it turns out the farm bought the convent using Betty's money.
Mm-hmm.
Which now, it's going to be repossessed because Betty got those papers fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
if the show follows logic, that is what will happen.
right?
What we
Yeah, I
will
was gonna
see.
say, but you know, it's not gonna air repossessed.
Yeah, exactly. But that was all real dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah, real dumb. And she's like,
yeah,
you already used my money,
yeah. So now
you
the question
creepy
is,
cult hippies.
if Archie shot Hiram, and Veronica seems to think so, and I'm like, whoever shot him was a very good shot.
Yeah, like it feels like it was professional.
Yeah,
You know, like the cup from his hand was literally shot out.
yeah,
You know, which feels like that was all intentional, that the cup was being used as a target.
yeah.
Like it feels, yeah, professional or military.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it Tom Keller? Do you know what I mean? Like he's a
Yeah,
suspect because of how good the shot was.
yeah.
Have we ever seen Archie handle a gun properly before?
Not
No.
properly. We've seen him with a gun, but
Like I feel like Archie would end up hitting Hiram in like the shoulder or something, you know?
we're just missing.
Or missing. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So yeah, none of that. Yeah, so I'm gonna rule out Archie for now.
Yeah, and then I just wrote like kids.
Like you think just kids did it?
No,
Or
I
you
don't know.
mean-
I wrote kids. I wrote kids.
Yeah, that like Veronica's dumping him.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you know what? It's the right move because Archie, our boy, he needs to take a little rest.
he really does.
He needs a little time. He needs to be put on timeout.
Yeah, and then the next scene is insane.
Yes, yes, it is.
So Fangs killed Tallboy,
Yeah, it was Tallboy was trying to escape. It was an accident.
and that's
Uh-oh.
not the insane part.
No, it is not the insane part.
The insane part is Jughead's solution.
Yeah, Jughead, Schmoobly D, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Jughead decides to throw a party,
Yeah,
which I don't get.
yeah,
How's that gonna help?
yeah,
Yeah, just like, you know, the thing about Tallboy is they already all thought he was dead.
yeah,
So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the serpents know how to get rid of a body.
yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the worst possible thing to me.
yeah,
Anyway, yep, but that was the cliffhanger for that act break was
Yeah.
let's throw a party.
yeah. And then it opens up with Fred and Archie.
Yeah, and Archie's just such a fucking sad sack.
Fred and
And it's
Archie.
like and Archie actually really connected with his feelings.
They are acting their hearts out in this scene.
They're acting their hearts out, but like they wrote Archie being very expressive as to like what he's actually going through.
Yeah.
Archie's like, I fought my way through juvie. I fought my way, you know, up in Canada. I ran away. I'm having a hard time dealing with my problems. Like Archie's very honest about it.
Yeah.
And then Fred, and this is bad writing. This is like a great example of Riverdale of the character having an about face and not behaving the way they normally behave.
Yeah.
Because Fred, who's a pretty conscious and solid parent,
Mm-hmm.
is like, well, you just got to keep fighting, Arch.
Yeah.
And that's being like, I have PTSD. I have something that's like legitimately psychologically, you know, difficult going on.
Yeah.
And them being like, yeah, you know, it's like being like, yeah, well, you just need to pray it away.
Yeah.
You know, like at least let Archie go visit the school's counselor, you know?
Something.
I'm sure the school has a counselor.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, maybe it's fucking Professor Flute Snoot, but they've definitely got one.
They got someone.
You know, like, yeah, let him do that. Anyway, yeah.
Claudius is dead. I don't remember why.
Claudius has died in his little jail cell.
Right.
Maybe he killed himself.
Yeah, who knows?
Whatever it means, whatever it is it's goodbye to that actor.
Yep.
Unless there is a
third
one of those guys.
Yep.
Which I wouldn't put it past the show for them to actually be triplets.
Right.
But boy, Claudius, in my opinion, was a real waste of a character.
Yeah.
They could have done very interesting things with Claudius, and they were sort of hovering around it, and instead he was nothing more than a plot device.
Yep.
But then we get Hermione.
Hermione thinks it's time for FP.
It's time. FP, it's time. Wow. What is it time for? Is it burger time?
We don't know.
A Jones family tradition?
We don't know what it's time for.
No, it is not time for burgers. Anyway.
So then Betty sees Hal again.
And now she's confiding in him.
Right. Well, Hal says he's the only one that knows what Alice is capable of.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Which
Betty.
I don't buy.
I don't buy it for 1 second.
My follow-up to that is that he asked Betty if she did well on her SATs, and Betty's like, yeah. And it's like, Betty, you don't get your score for months.
Yeah. Betty's like, well, Betty just knows she did well because she's Betty. You know, for her personal essay. Is there a personal essay in the SATs?
There was, but they took it away.
Oh, they took it away. Okay.
It wasn't a personal essay. It was just like an essay.
Okay, because I was going to say for her essay, she probably wrote about her time interning with Toni Morrison.
Oh, yeah. It was never a personal essay, but there had been an essay portion.
Yeah. And then we get Reggie coming to visit Ronnie in the hospital.
With an It's a Boy balloon.
Oh, does he have an It's a Boy balloon?
Yeah.
That's so funny and very endearing.
Yeah.
And it is a boy. It's Reggie waltzing into our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new teen sensation of Riverdale, Reggie Mantle.
Yeah.
In the comics, he's given Archie a wedgie. In Riverdale, he's wedgieing our hearts.
Yep.
We love you, Reggie Mantle.
So we're at the party.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote, so like Jughead is done talking and there's a mic screech, but there was never a microphone.
I didn't notice that. That is so funny.
Yeah. But the cops,
oh my God.
The party's got to break up, but here's the big reveal.
The big reveal is now the law in the town is F.P. Jones.
FP is the new sheriff. And then I wrote end episode here, and it does not.
I wrote lol. I think this is real dumb.
I'm so excited for it.
Sure. We'll see what they do with this, but I think this is
like
real ham-fisted.
She should have just reinstated Tom Keller. Like,
why isn't Tom Keller allowed to be the sheriff again?
I don't know.
Yeah, it should obviously just be, but okay, great. It's FP now. We'll see how that all goes for everybody. I mean, if this leads to like a cool, calculated method that that Hermione is sort of seizing control from Hiram, that's fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if Hermione got her husband shot, I'm totally cool with that because Hiram's the worst and he's totally abusive. And you know, I want Hermione to seize control, you know? Anyway,
the episode should have ended there, but it didn't.
Yeah, no. Then we've got Archie drinking
and boxing, and Fred comes up and he's like, "You're too loud," but punching bags are not that loud.
Yeah, punching bags are not that loud. Yeah, we're gonna get a noise complaint. Oh, are we? It's not like Archie should be listening to like Slayer while, or he should be listening to like Dokken. He should be listening to Dream Warriors while he's punching the bag like real loud.
This is the second time in the episode when I wrote that he sparked joy because his room is like empty.
I know. And FP says it looks like a prison cell.
Yeah, he sparked joy.
What Marie Kondo wants for all of us is for our rooms to look like prison cells.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I actually love Marie Kondo, so.
Oh, it's great.
I take that back. I do that once a year, and it's really good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wrote again, I just want to say this one more time. Get him a shrink. Get that kid a shrink. Oh, he's been through so much.
Yeah, and then this episode had no Cheryl, no Moose.
This episode had no Cheryl, no Moose, because we're moving into the, our crush list, our power list.
Right.
But before we end our episode on that, I want to ask you, what are your wishes for this show moving forward? Because this is a real moment of, I think that we're getting real disappointed right now. And we love Riverdale very much.
I think we need to turn over on the Gargoyle King and solve that and focus on the farm.
Focus on the farm. Yes, totally. If we do focus on the farm, I'd love for the writers to have their research down
Mm-hmm.
and to make the plot with the farm nuanced and keep us guessing. And
Yes.
I want there to be elements to the farm that feel actually good
Yes.
so that we are torn as to how we're feeling about the farm instead of it just being this like evil entity.
Yeah.
I would love for this show, and I've said as much before, to take a cue specifically from um, the Wild Wild Country by Netflix
Yeah.
from last year.
Yeah.
And it's Wild Wild Country is a good example because in reality, what happened with the Rajneeshi was really pretty negative and pretty manipulative and bad towards all the people that believed in the Bhagwan and in the Rajneesh.
Yeah.
But they made that documentary very intentionally into like a story about moral relativism.
Yeah.
So like that would be great for a show like Riverdale, and it'd be fun to see these characters who can be nuanced when they're written properly,
Mm-hmm.
be written to be conflicted about the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what else do you wish for the show?
I don't know. Less singing.
Yeah, less singing for Kate. I'd love there to be more dynamics with the ROTC.
Yeah, well, that would give us more moose too.
Yeah, that's sort of what I want. I actually want more of a sort of proper story between Moose and Kevin.
Yeah.
And I feel like ROTC could function really well as that, and I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I'd if Tony and Cheryl were removed on the board, I want it to be for a really big dramatic reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them to factor more in as well.
Yeah.
Think back half of the season would be fun to see more from the supporting teen characters and less from the supporting parent characters.
Yeah, it sounds like we want it to be gayer, and that's fine.
We want it to be gayer?
Yeah, I mean, look.
Oh yeah, it's definitely time to make it a little more queer.
Yeah.
You know, it's great. I think the show is actually better when it's more queer.
Yeah.
I think the show in itself sort of has a camp appeal to it that like, not that I'm saying that every queer character needs to be campy.
Right.
At all, but just, but I guess we got mad about boob window and stuff, and that's pretty queer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess we just want a show that's a little more nuanced, that treats its characters a little better.
Yeah.
All right. Who's on your crush list?
My crush list?
Yep.
My number one this week was Sweet Pea.
Totally fair. Yes.
He, like, really loves fangs.
Yeah, Sweet Pea and Fangs. I ship it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my number one was Sweet Pea. My number two was FP.
Uh-huh.
My number three was Fred.
Yeah, you loved the Zaddies this week.
Yeah.
My number one was Reggie.
Okay.
I mean, Dream Boy.
Yeah, he really was.
My number two is Veronica, just because great outfits.
Mm-hmm.
My number three was FP.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Serving up that zaddiness. Who was on your power list?
I had Hermione up at the top.
Okay, yep.
I think she's involved with that shooting.
I think you're 100% correct, yes.
And then I have FP.
Uh-huh.
And then Hal.
Uh-huh.
And then Alice, and then Betty.
Yeah, we have a pretty close...
I want to be clear that Vegas is number one.
Yes, Vegas is number one. Definitely in this episode, because we saw him.
Yes.
He ran through the door. My list is in its slightly different orders, maybe just because I'm giving different precedents.
Yeah.
But it's like a very similar list. My number one is Alice.
Okay.
My number two is Jughead.
Mm-hmm.
Because he made that big, bold move to decide to throw a party.
Okay.
My number three is Tallboy.
Okay.
4 is Hal.
Mm-hmm.
5 is Hermione.
Mm-hmm.
6 is FP.
Okay.
So almost all adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the kids making some big moves.
Yeah. So episode 46.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Red Dahlia.
Oh, I've heard of that. What is that?
It's not a movie.
What is it? It's a book. Yeah.
And it's a self-named Red Dahlia Avenger mocks Anna and Langton as they hit more dead ends after another. One dead end after another.
I don't really understand what you just said, but it sounds intriguing.
I wrote word for word what the description of the book was.
So is it about a vigilante?
Yeah, and they keep hitting dead ends.
Interesting. Well, I hope that this show moves forward and it's not just a dead end in the next episode.
Yeah.
Well, as per usual, this has been a total pleasure.
Absolutely.
There's no one else I'd rather be a little angry about Riverdale with than you, Kate.
It's true.
Yeah, and
Please
thanks for listening.
Follow us on Twitter.
Sorry?
Please follow us on Twitter and please like and subscribe.
Follow us on Twitter, like and subscribe. Please keep communicating with us over Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We love chatting with our fans. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for sticking with the show. Yeah, and if there's any subject regarding the show that you want us to cover,
yeah,
feel free to let us know, because we're more than happy to take fan suggestions, listener suggestions.
Yeah.
And on that note, we love you very much, pals and gals.
Yes. Thank you to our editor who put in some heavy lifting last week.
Yeah, Angeli Mercado. She rocks the Casbah. We love Angeli.
Yeah.
And thank you to the writer of our theme song, Louis Aronowitz, who wrote our theme song once, but we're going to thank him forever.
Yeah.
All right, pals and gals. We love you very much. We'll catch you after the next episode on AXO Riverdale.